Hello, this is Shinobi Bench. Today, I'm going to fully reveal the exact set structure that allowed me to increase my bench press max from 110 kilograms to 150 kilograms over the course of 1 year. If you've been working hard on your bench press but aren't seeing your max increase, or you're not sure whether your current method is actually working, I believe many of you might be facing similar concerns. There are several factors that contribute to increasing your bench press max, and one of them is definitely your set structure. In 2023, I was able to increase my bench press from 110 kilograms to 150 kilograms without a pause. One of the key elements was definitely how I structured my sets. Of course, improvements in form and other aspects also played a role. What I realized during this journey is that there are some basic patterns to structuring your sets. When you apply these patterns, things tend to go pretty smoothly. But there are a lot of people who struggle without knowing these patterns. So in this video, I'm going to introduce the basic set patterns for increasing your bench press and then show you the exact set structure I personally used. I'll explain the basic principles and some variations that I consider important for increasing your bench press. So please stay tuned until the end. The set methods I'll introduce today have been combined and used to design training programs for over 500 clients in Japan. As a result, 90% of them have hit new PRs within 3 months. If you find this video helpful or want to support me, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. The most important thing for increasing your bench press max. The first thing I want to tell everyone is this. The most important factor in increasing your bench press max is understanding the concept behind the set or program you're trying to follow, and continuing that concept-driven training for a fixed period. Let's define fixed period here as 3 months. You shouldn't expect results unless you stick with a program for at least that long. Whether it's muscles or the nervous system, your body doesn't adapt quickly. If you stop after just a few weeks or 1 month, you'll likely quit before you see results. So it's crucial to fully understand and accept the philosophy or concept of the program before you begin. When you're confident in the program you've chosen, even if you don't see results immediately, you'll be able to stick with it. Progression of my bench press max in 2023. Now let's get into the main topic. Here's how my bench press max increased over 2023. Start of 2023, 110 kilograms. February 7th, 120 kilograms. April 7th, 125 kilograms. July 21st, 130 kilograms. August 29th, 135 kilograms. September 30th, 140 kilograms. October 11th, 145 kilograms. November 16th, 150 kilograms. I'll give you an overview first and explain the training details later. From the beginning of the year until June 29th, I was following a program created by bench press world champion Mr. Kodama. During that time, my max went from 110 kilograms to 127.5 kilograms, a 17.5 kilogram increase. Then, from June 29th to August 14th, I switched to the 10-8-5 program, which is a program I created myself and mainly follow. I haven't talked about this program yet on the channel, but I plan to soon, so please subscribe if you're interested. In Japanese, the 10-8-5 program video has been viewed around 100,000 times and has helped thousands of lifters reach new PRs. If you search for 10-8-5 program on YouTube, you should find the Japanese version. Let's get back to the timeline. Max went from 127.5 kilograms to 132.5 kilograms plus 5 kilograms. From August 15th to September 27th, I followed the 5-3-1 program. Max went from 132.5 kilograms to 137.5 kilograms plus 5 kilograms. From September 28th to November 27th, I did 10 reps times 10 to 15 sets training. Max went from 137.5 kilograms to 145 kilograms plus 7.5 kilograms. From November 28th to December 31st, I followed the Nguyen program focused on feet up bench. Feet up bench max went from 135 kilograms to 140 kilograms plus 5 kilograms. Now you might say, hey Shinobi Bench, earlier you said to stick to a program for 3 months, but none of these lasted that long. That's true. The 3-month rule applies when things aren't going well. If things are going well, I actually recommend pulling out early. That's one of my key strategies. If it works, pull out quickly. If it doesn't, keep pushing for at least 3 months. Many people do the opposite. They abandon things that don't work quickly and cling to success. This often leads to chasing only short-term results, which doesn't end well. So for me, the rule is if it works, pull back. If it doesn't, commit for 3 months. That's a really important point for me. Set structure patterns. Before I dive into the actual set structure I followed, let me first explain a few set structure patterns. First, straight sets. Straight sets involve performing the same weight and reps across all sets, like 80 kilograms, 10 reps, 10 sets. It's simple, easy to follow, and beginner friendly. However, if you hit a plateau with a given weight, it can be difficult to break through using this method alone. Also, depending on the rep range you choose, your training can easily become biased toward either hypertrophy or strength. In my 1-year training span, I used straight sets quite often, but I designed them or selected them in a way that avoids stagnation and imbalances. It's a classic training method and definitely one to consider. 2. Pyramid sets. As the name implies, pyramid sets involve a structure similar to a pyramid. You start with moderate weights and moderate reps, 5 to 8 reps. Move to heavy weights with low reps, 1 to 3 reps, and finish with light weights and high reps, 10 plus reps. This set style provides a balanced approach that targets strength, hypertrophy, and muscular endurance. Third, periodization. Periodization is a method where training is divided into phases, progressively shifting from high rep, low intensity sets to low rep, high intensity sets. For example, start with high volume, 80 kilograms, 10 reps, 10 sets. Progress to higher intensity, 100 kilograms, 5 reps, 10 sets. This allows you to train both for strength and hypertrophy. However, it can sometimes feel like you're not specializing in either, depending on how it's executed. Most bench press progression programs are based on periodization principles. Of course, these aren't the only set structures out there, but in my 1-year progress, I used a combination of these three. The first 6 months, Kodama program. Let's go into the actual structure I followed. For the first 6 months, I followed a program created by BenchPress world champion Mr. Kodama. For those unfamiliar, Mr. Kodama is a more than 20-time world champion in the bench press. As of 2023, his official raw record in the under 83 kilogram class is 230.5 kilograms. Incredible numbers, right? His gym has produced both Japanese and world champions, and Mr. Kodama is also an outstanding coach. I've received permission to publicly share the program I used during this time. Duration, about 6 months. Progress, 110 kilograms to 127.5 kilograms, plus 17.5 kilograms. To be honest, I don't think I could have increased by plus 40 kilograms in a year without his guidance. My current max is 162.5 kilograms, and much of the approach I've taken after hitting 150 kilograms has been based on insights derived from his coaching. If you're serious about increasing your bench press, I strongly recommend getting a program or form check from Mr. Kodama. Weekly structure. I followed his program 3 times a week. On the off days, I would do form practice, like 10 reps times 5 sets at 50 to 60% of 1 rep max. Total weekly frequency, around 5 to 6 times per week. Note, the program I'm about to share was custom made based on my training history, session duration, and training frequency. It won't necessarily apply to everyone. Overall program structure. Top single, 1 set. Main sets, power form, 5 sets. Feet up narrow grip, 3 sets. Top single. Start with about minus 10 kilograms from your 1 RM. If successful, increase by 2.5 kilograms. If you fail, decrease by 5 to 10 kilograms and retry. Repeat this progression to gradually increase your top weight. Main sets. Mostly 10 reps or 8 reps across 5 sets. Breakdown, 10 reps, 20%, 8 reps, 50%, 2 reps, 30%. I used 2 rep sets only when my elbows were injured. Main set weight ranges: 10 reps, 75 to 100 kilograms. 8 reps, 82.5 to 105 kilograms. 2 reps, 80 to 117.5 kilograms. Total main set volume, around 3,000 to 4,000 kilograms. Feet up narrow bench, 10 reps, 80%, 8 reps, 10%, 5 reps, 10%. Weight, 60 to 87.5 kilograms. Total daily volume, top plus main plus accessory, 5,500 to 6,600 kilograms. This might serve as a good reference point. If your max is around 110 to 130 kilograms, a total daily volume of 5,000 to 6,700 kilograms might be ideal. Summary of Kodama program phase. Max progression 110 kilograms to 127.5 kilograms. Set structure: top single 1 set, main sets 5 sets, feet up narrow 3 sets. Top weight range 100 to 127.5 kilograms. Main weight range 75 to 105 kilograms. Feet up narrow 60 to 87.5 kilograms. Total volume 5,500 to 6,600 kilograms. A key takeaway is the emphasis on reps and total volume. Powerlifting style training often brings to mind low reps and low volume, but Mr. Kodama's program was high reps times high volume. This approach allowed for a high amount of form repetition and maximized hypertrophy. For strength training, you could say nervous system training, I use top singles. From beginner to intermediate level, I believe the key to progress is focusing on form and muscle mass. High rep and high volume training involves a lot of sets and reps, so you can repeatedly practice your form, and because of the volume, it maximizes hypertrophy. Strength training, which you could also describe as training the nervous system, is handled through the top singles. For beginners and intermediate lifters aiming to increase their bench press, I believe the two most important elements are form and muscle mass. So this program perfectly matched those needs and led to my strength gains. One thing to keep in mind is that programs designed for advanced lifters don't necessarily work for beginners or intermediate lifters. From June 29th to August 14th, 10-8-5 program. Next up is the 10-8-5 program that I followed from June 29th to August 14th. This is the main method I use, and it's a program I developed by customizing the structure of Mr. Kodama's program and applying periodization principles. I have permission from the clients I'll be referencing to share a few examples. Client example 1. Program start August 3rd, 2023. Starting max 92.5 kilograms. Reached 100 kilograms by November 25th, 4 months later. Reached 102.5 kilograms a month after that. Client example 2. Program start October 7th, 2023. Starting max 95 kilograms. Goal: hit 100 kilograms by the end of the year. Reached 100 kilograms in 21 days, October 28th. Reached 102.5 kilograms on November 25th. Increase of 7.5 kilograms in about a month. Client example 3. Program start December 2nd, 2023. Starting max 97.5 kilograms. Had been stuck for 2 years and suffered a rotator cuff tear 1.5 years ago due to form issues. Mentally tough period. Reached 100 kilograms on December 12th, just 10 days later. Anyone currently around this weight will understand 97.5 kilograms and 100 kilograms feel like entirely different beasts. There's something about those milestone numbers, 100 kilograms, 120 kilograms, 140 kilograms, 150 kilograms, that make them feel tougher to conquer. Anyway, these are some real-life examples that I plan to turn into videos later, so please subscribe if you're interested. To get back to the main topic, I personally increased my max from 127.5 kilograms to 132.5 kilograms plus 5 kilograms during this time. What's unique is that I was cutting weight during this phase, going from 89 kilograms to 77 kilograms minus 12 kilograms. I hit 130 kilograms while weighing only 77 kilograms. So despite losing over 10 kilograms of body weight, I still increased my bench press, which gave me a lot of confidence. I'll simplify the explanation since I was experimenting a lot at the time, and it might get too complicated otherwise. The 10-8-5 program basics. This program is based on periodization, starting with low weight, high reps, and progressing to high weight, low reps. What makes it different from traditional periodization is that the transition in weight and reps isn't done weekly, but only after hitting your rep max. Top single progression. Start with minus 10 kilograms from your maximum. If successful, add 2.5 kilograms. If you fail, drop 10 kilograms and try again. Repeat this process to increase your top weight. When I did this, I started around 110 kilograms. If I couldn't improve my 1 rep performance after 2 to 3 cycles, I would shift to doing 2 rep sets, starting around minus 15 kilograms from my max. If successful, increase 2.5 kilograms. If I failed at 2 reps, I'd go back to 1 rep sets and try to break past that point. Basically, it's a back and forth system. Main sets progression. Start with 80 kilograms, 10 reps, 10 sets. That might feel light relative to your max, but it's a phase to focus on form, so I'd perform the reps slowly and with control. Like the top single, if successful, add 2.5 kilograms. If you fail, keep the same weight, switch to 8 reps 10 sets. If successful, add 2.5 kilograms. If you fail again, switch to 5 reps 10 sets at the same weight. For example, I failed at 92.5 kilograms 10 reps, so I switched to 8 reps 10 sets. Then failed at 97.5 kilograms 8 reps, so I switched to 5 reps 10 sets. Eventually, when I fail at 5 reps 10 sets, I reset the cycle. Start again from 10 reps 10 sets at plus 2.5 kilograms over your last starting weight, 82.5 kilograms 10 reps 10 sets. Initially, I added feet up bench and hip raised bench variations and even dropped down to 3 rep and 1 rep ranges, but that made the structure too complicated, so I'll omit those here. Back then, I trained down to 3 and 1 rep, but honestly, the physical toll was high. Now I find top single plus 10.85 to be just right. Program volume. Start of the cycle, lightweight high reps, approximately 8,000 kilograms. End of the cycle, heavyweight low reps, approximately 5,000 kilograms. Overall concept, top single, strength development, and high load form optimization. 10 to 8 reps, base muscle growth and form practice. 5 reps, strength, hypertrophy blend, plus form refinement under moderate load. Unlike traditional weekly periodization, this method adjusts when you hit your limits, not by the calendar. This prevents burnout or program failure due to arbitrary weekly changes. There are phases of pushing hard and phases of not pushing as hard. This contrast helps restore form and prepare for the next hard phase. During the easier phase, focus on slow tempo, 3 seconds down, 2 seconds up. Even with lighter weights, it'll still be tough. This is called tempo bench press. It may sound complex, but once you try it, it's surprisingly simple. If you're interested, give it a try. August 15th to September 27th, 5-3-1 program. From August 15th to September 27th, I followed the 5-3-1 program. During this period, my bench press max increased from 132.5 kilograms to 137.5 kilograms, a gain of 5 kilograms. The 5-3-1 program was created by Jim Wendler, who has a big 3 total of over 1,000 kilograms. This program was originally designed to increase the big 3 lifts and the overhead press. Although Wendler himself says, don't modify the program, I've made slight adjustments for the purposes of this video. The 5-3-1 program combines pyramid sets and periodization. The following is the weight structure for week 1 in my case. The first set in week 1 is 77.5 kilograms for 5 reps. The second set is 90 kilograms for 5 reps. The third set is 100 kilograms for as many reps as possible. This third set is the core of the program, and I believe increasing the number of reps here is the key to breaking your max. From the fourth set onward, it's optional and structured as a descending pyramid. In other words, these are optional, but I do them. The fourth set is 90 kilograms for 5 reps. The fifth set is 77.5 kilograms for as many reps as possible. Finally, BBB stands for boring but big. I did 82.5 kilograms 10 reps 5 sets. It's not exactly an easy set in my opinion. Week 2 and week 3 are structured as follows. Week 2. First set 82.5 kilograms for 3 reps. Second set 95 kilograms for 3 reps. Third set 107.5 kilograms for 3 reps, as many as possible. Fourth set 95 kilograms for 3 reps. Fifth set 82.5 kilograms for 3 reps, as many as possible. BBB 82.5 kilograms 10 reps 5 sets. Week 3. First set 90 kilograms for 5 reps. Second set 100 kilograms for 3 reps. Third set 112.5 kilograms for 1 rep, as many as possible. Fourth set 100 kilograms for 3 reps. Fifth set 90 kilograms for 5 reps, as many as possible. BBB 82.5 kilograms 10 reps 5 sets. Week 4 is normally a deload, but it looked too light to me, so I added top singles and gradually increased the weight to push for PRs. The original program is designed for 1 session per week, but I was doing it 5 to 6 sessions per week. Eventually, it got too hard, so I dropped to 3 sessions per week. Even 2 sessions might be sufficient, it's that intense. Especially those plus sets in set 3 are brutal. Actually, set 5 is also quite hard. For example, doing 80 kilograms for 20 reps is no joke. 5-3-1 isn't a high volume program unless you do BBB, but I still felt like my body was growing. That reaffirmed the importance of training to failure. Since I was also increasing my lifts, I considered this program very effective. My interpretation of 5-3-1. The core idea for me was aim to match the number of reps from week 1 set 3 and set 5 in week 2 set 3 and 5. Then do the same for week 3. Of course, the weights increase every week, so logically it shouldn't be possible. But somehow I was able to match the week 1 reps even in week 2. And no, I wasn't slacking in week 1. It really made me wonder, why is this happening? I think the key to increasing your max lies right there, stretching your as many reps as possible performance across 3 weeks. Then, focus on set 5 for muscular endurance. But if I had to pick one, set 3 is the most important. It's where your strength gains are made. Set 5 is important too, but more so for work capacity. The program may seem a bit complex, and its concept a bit hard to grasp at first, but I believe the essence is what I just described. Next, September 28th to November 27th, 10 reps, 10 to 15 sets. During these 2 months, I followed a simple program. Top single first. Then do 80 kilograms, 10 reps, 10 to 15 sets. If successful, increase the weight by 2.5 kilograms. If you fail, go back to the previous weight and repeat. Simple is best, right? This method gave me a huge boost in a short period. Doing 10 or more sets of 10 reps really improved my hypertrophy and helped optimize my form. To put it bluntly, you don't need fancy or complicated methods to get stronger. As long as you understand the purpose behind your training and stick to the basics, you will make progress. November 28th to December 31st, the Nguyen program. Finally, from November 28th to December 31st, I followed what I call the Nguyen program. During this phase, I performed only feet-up bench press. My feet-up max increased from 135 kilograms to 140 kilograms, a 5 kilogram increase. The name Nguyen program comes from Long Nguyen, a lifter who weighs just 70 kilograms but benches 186 kilograms. That's about 2.6 times his body weight. And what's even more surprising is that his form isn't that of a typical bencher. He's almost lying flat, yet he presses over 180 kilograms. I think it's just incredible. Please refer to the website for details on the Nguyen program. The weights and reps I performed were as follows. First set, 60 kilograms for 10 reps. Second set, 90 kilograms for 10 reps. Third set, 110 kilograms for 5 reps. Fourth set, 115 kilograms for 3 reps. Fifth set, 122.5 kilograms for 1 rep. Sixth set, 130 kilograms for 1 rep. 7 sets, 122.5 kilograms for 1 rep. 8 sets, 122.5 kilograms for 1 rep. 9th set, 115 kilograms for 3 reps. 10th set, 110 kilograms for 5 reps. The structure is similar to a pyramid set, but the focus is much more on strength development. The total volume for this 10-set routine was around just under 4,000 kilograms. Compared to my usual training volume, this felt relatively low. However, the Nguyen program is designed to be completed in under an hour, so there's plenty of room to add accessory work to increase overall volume. In my case, after finishing the Nguyen program, I would often do additional work using the final set's weight, like 10 reps, 5 sets, to make up for any volume or rep shortfalls. Again, while the Nguyen program resembles a pyramid set in structure, it contains very few high rep sets aimed at hypertrophy or endurance. It's a program specialized for strength, and I'd say it's best suited for intermediate to advanced lifters. One of its major benefits is that you repeat the same heavy weights regularly, so it really helps refine your form at those specific weights, for me, around 130 kilograms. That 130 kilograms 1 rep top single on set 6 felt heavy at first, but by the 4th cycle, it felt so light that I was confident I'd never miss it again. After completing 4 full cycles, I had very strong confidence that I could hit a new PR. Wrapping up, the key is the concept. That wraps up the different set structures I used. To conclude, I want to emphasize one more time. When designing a training program, the most important thing is to clarify the concept behind it. If you remember, I discussed each program's concept toward the end of each section, and that's actually the most important part. Clarifying the concept before you begin training helps you. Define your desired outcome. Assess the program's effectiveness. Decide your next step, regardless of results. It creates a clear path. Concept, execution, result. Evaluation. Next step. This feedback loop is crucial. If you don't define your concept from the start, you won't know what your goal is. Without that, you can't evaluate the outcome or determine what to do next. This is essentially the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. Continuing this cycle is essential. Final thoughts. Throughout this video, I've explained how I increased my bench press from 110 kilograms to 150 kilograms in 1 year. But beneath all that, what truly made it possible is that I love bench pressing and training was just so much fun. Of course, there were times when my progress stalled, but even those times were enjoyable. In fact, overcoming plateaus made the breakthroughs feel twice as rewarding. And every time I made a new discovery, it made me incredibly happy. Also, having people celebrate my new PRs is one of the reasons I love bench press so much. Everyone has their own reasons for wanting to get stronger at the bench press, but don't forget to enjoy it as you keep working hard. If you found this video helpful or just want to support me, I'd be super happy if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.